What's up, y'all? Welcome to season 2 of our Madden franchise, and we're gonna start this pretty quickly here as the first selection is going to be the Steelers, and we pick up Montez. Obviously, he had to be our guaranteed pick. He's such a monster. I mean, immediately the fastest DN in the league. I mean, it's insane. Patriots go with J.D. Kimball, as we all knew he was going to be the big prospect. Tevin Brandon is actually the pickup for the Cowboys, as we all knew Westbrook being the pickup for the Packers, and Larry Bourne goes into the first round as well for the Steelers now. So that's 2 first round picks that we kind of get, and a huge steal for us was Damon Donahue, who had been such a monster. We got him in the second round. Very happy about that pickup, and honestly, he's probably going to be our best receiver going into this game against I believe it's the Bengals first up. And I'm not going to lie, Joe Burrow has been on a hot streak in this offseason. So, I'm kind of worried about that. But as you saw, that did look like Devon Achane, and that is who it was. So, I'm just going to get into the trades here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we traded Zach Frazier, our left guard, and Jaylen Warren for Jahad Campbell and Jalen Carter. So now we have a monster D-line pickup, and we have a monster linebacker pickup, as those 2 people had created havoc all last season. And obviously the Eagles had no O-line because all of the O-line was older, so they ended up retiring. So they really needed that O-line help, and that's the reason why we kind of got the steal of the century out of the trade, essentially. And going into the Dolphins trade, I forgot what we gave them. I'm pretty sure we gave them some draft picks for sure. I don't remember what the first initial thing was, but it was mainly for Devon Achane. I mean, he was such a monster, and we really wanted to pick up a running back to go in front of Caleb Johnson, because Caleb Johnson is really more of like an additive back. He's not really a running back one, even though in the second half of the season last year he kind of did pick up some steam there. But I wanted Devon Achane. I wanted an explosive X Factor type of guy at that running back position, and that's who we felt Devon Achane was. So, that's going to be like the big main pickups. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but I'm pretty sure that's what we got out of the trades for this season. And I already used all 3 of my trades, so I can't really trade until next season. But we ended up losing against the Bengals, as you saw, and the Cowboys end up cruising by these Falcons, essentially. I mean, it's 21-0 into the second quarter. Now, I don't know what the Cowboys ended up trading for. Oh, and another big trade, I forgot. That's one of the biggest trades of the offseason. So I ended up trading Brian Burns back to the Giants for Abdul Carter. So yeah, and then I ended up putting Nick Sorton. I kept him at D tackle with Jalen Carter, and I also ended up trading Derek Harmon. I think I ended up trading Derek Harmon to the Dolphins, I believe, for Achane. I don't really remember where he ended up getting traded as well, but essentially we swapped Harmon for Carter and Abdul, and Abdul for Brian Burns. And honestly, it was a great move for us. I think so far, even though we have 1 loss, I liked how our defense looked. I think it's just our offense really struggled, and Anthony Richardson really didn't look that great in that game. So I think we can kind of build on that. But as I was saying, the Cowboys pretty much glided past the Falcons. Not really much of a threat to them at all. But this is going to be a threat to the Packers. It should be, at least. The Lions, who were a fierce opponent last season, and I kind of see this being a very close game. We end up getting a nice stop on defense from a sack from interior pressure, and a huge throw for Varga, who is one of the biggest additions for this Packers offense according to the draft, because we know Westbrook is a baller. We know that he can get it done at the corner position, but Varga, who has not really shown that many weaknesses in college, has a very big aspiration from the fan base to really carry this team over the hump and get them to the Super Bowl. And I don't really mean to toot Jalil Varga's horn a little bit here, but so far he's looked really good, very poised in this pocket, especially against a D-line that's definitely one of the better D-lines in the league. You have, Aiden Hutchinson and company with the Lions, and I definitely think that Jalil Varga has shown a lot of veteran type of habits in his rookie season, in his first game even. So very excited to see how he can develop and really build on that win against the Lions here. And now we're gonna have Little's first debut game against the Eagles. So same thing I was saying for Varga is exactly what is expected of Little as well. With these two big quarterback prospects in the draft in college, with their individual and team success, they are very, very, very expectation based. I mean, we should see, or at least the fans think we should see a lot of wins going into both of these franchises, and especially a lot of postseason success with these two people at the helm. And I'm glad that Little is not taking that to the chest a little bit too harshly. And I think 14-0 to start this, or 14-7 to start this game out against the Eagles is a very great way. I think the Patriots are doing a really good job of getting the ball out quickly, making somewhat easy throws for Little. The one thing that we know Little's gonna have a problem with is sitting in the pocket and processing, not because of his ability to process, but he has a habit of having a lot of dancy feet because he had a very poor O-line in the past. And I think we have to build the habit out of him to just sit in that pocket and really throw the ball. Not saying that the Patriots O-line is great, because it's not insanely bad or anything, but obviously it's not the O-line that you could just sit there and have a whole tea party in. But nonetheless, though, I mean, Eagles are kind of getting whooped on 56-21, and that's a great way to get a first win for a rookie quarterback. And to start the second game out for a little season, he gets a nice field goal. The drive kind of stalls at the end, but it doesn't really matter. Still got points on the board. James Cook, though, and Khalil Shakir, damn, rip that guy's last name. Would not be a good teacher, by the way. I'll be saying those outlandish pronunciations. But oh my goodness, Gonzo just freaking flattened that receiver here, and Becker takes the top off of defense. I don't know who 47 is, but he's probably a bum. I mean, who has 47 as a freaking a DB number? It's ain't back in the day, bro. But close game, honestly. 17-14. We had to end up taking punting, and we end up stopping them. They get the ball back, intercepted, but then I think they stop them again, which is kind of interesting. But finally, I believe that Jake Ferguson gets I didn't even know Jake Ferguson was on the Patriots. He ends up getting the touchdown, and then another touchdown to win the game in the fourth. And that was very, very impressive for Little to get a nice game-winning drive there in his second start as a New England Patriot. And oh my goodness, Abel was just taking the top off the defense with Pharaoh, who is a big name in Florida State and has really built a reputation of being this deep ball threat. And Cahill, who almost went undrafted, but he ended up getting picked up later in the draft. So with Pharaoh and Cahill, the additions to the team, Cahill being a very depth piece, I think he's gonna be a project type of receiver, whereas Pharaoh is ready to go now. Damian Pharaoh has been such a spectacular downfield threat all his career up to this point, and I think with the arm of Jaden Daniels, I mean, the sky's the limit for him, honestly. And it looks like an easy win, 49-34. Not great from the defense, letting up 30 points, but nonetheless, you still get the win with a very high-powered offense that is the Cowboys. And in the second game for the Steelers here, they got San Fran, and the Steelers looking for a win here. I mean, they're no strangers to losing early in the season, as last season they lost a lot, and they really came back in the later half of the season. But I was expecting with the acquisitions that we made to make some early strides here, and I think this game, if we win, would be a great chance to build on that expectation of greatness. And I think with this whole receiving core is really coming together. I think not one piece of this receiving core is insane. I mean, I know Donahue just got added, so it's kind of hard to say that, as he's such a good college prospect. He's pretty much unguardable in college. But besides that, though, there's not one huge wide receiver one on this team, but there is a lot of receivers on this team that can get things done. And sometimes that's more problematic to handle as a defense, because everyone can ball. And you don't just have that one diva. And a great win, 35-19 for the Pittsburgh Steelers here, as Stefan is obviously very happy about that. And now we're gonna have the Chiefs going against the Packers here, and Christian Watson immediately doing a lot of great moves there, getting the perfect position for Nick Harbor in the goal line setting, or red zone setting there, getting the nice touchdown off of 8 yards. And I don't know who these tackling coaches are for the DB core of the Packers, but he needs to get fired immediately. Back-to-back broken tackles there, and a huge touchdown from Nick Harbor. So now we got 20-14, and Golden, who has been one of Jaleel Vargas' favorite targets up to this point here, gets a nice deep ball, but he ends up throwing an interception. When it comes to some leeway, that was a really rookie type of throw there, but you kind of expect that. You have some nerves going against great opponents, and a huge throw to Wilson, and a nice gain and touchdown from Nick Harbor. That was just going to be a first down gain, but it ended up being a touchdown. So huge by Nick Harbor there, and Jaleel Vargas just unloads on 31, getting Matthew Golden another touchdown. And I'm not gonna lie, Braden Walters and Jaleel Vargas did play a couple of seasons. I think it was 2 seasons with each other in college, so I was expecting a more solidified connection between those two, quarterback and receiver. But it looks like Matthew Golden is kind of emerging as the more favored target for Jaleel Vargas here, so we're going to see how that dynamic continues to grow there. But a great win for the Packers. I mean, honestly, going to overtime in your for the first time in your career and winning is very crucial to how the confidence builds from a rookie quarterback there. And I think Jaleel Vargas is doing a great job so far. Donahue for the Steelers has done very great as well in this game, as he puts them in perfect position, and Norton finishes the drive off, tying the game up. And Thornton, who has been a very good outlet for Anthony Richardson, ends up getting a nice gain there. And Taj, on back-to-back receptions, gets a touchdown there after a great ball. And Donahue goes upstairs and gets a nice head top looking catch. Donahue's no stranger to contested catches here, and Donahue just making people miss out here. And he kind of has he has that underrated speed, not enough to get to the pylon, but definitely getting an extra 5 yards of burst that you didn't expect initially from a receiver of his size. And let's just see here, and Taj Rivers, oh my goodness, Taj Rivers, I did not expect that type of catch from him. Underthrown ball from Anthony Richardson on the goal line ends up resulting in a turnover. Anthony Richardson ends up running this one in for himself. Maybe he was a little nervous from the interception from the previous drive, but nonetheless, it's an easy win for the Steelers, 48-14. Not something that was too worried about in the Steelers locker room there. And now we're gonna have the Cowboys again going against. Let's see who they go against. I did forget. Oh, the Saints. That's right. So the Saints gonna go against Dallas, and I don't really expect the Saints to really hold Drango in the run game, even though Jane Daniels really wants to get this pass game going, obviously, as he hits a plethora of his receivers. But look at that gap. I mean, it's insane, the type of blocks that he's gonna get here. And look at this. Yeah, we didn't expect the Saints to really hold anything against Drango in that run game. I mean, I can't even name one good Saints D lineman. No offense to them, but don't really know any great D linemen from the Saints there. And it's looking like a blowout, I believe. I mean, it's 35-17, but a fumble from Xavier Worthy could change the tides. Nope, the defense got a good stop, and Drango around the corner, cutting inside, putting in perfect position for Pitts. A nice catch. And you know, oh my goodness, Avils just had to stiff arm the guy, and he ends up going upstairs and gets another touchdown, making this 49-24. So pretty easy win for the Cowboys, getting their record to 3-1. And immediately Little starts with the interception in the first drive. Lamar stepping up to throw and gets that first down off of a QB sneak. Oh, he didn't. That was third down. They ended up getting a nice stop on defense from the Patriots, and a nice throw to Becker on back-to-back throws. And Becker, he just glides on the field, man. That dude is insanely quick. Ends up getting a touchdown to make the lead 7-0. And here we have Lamar Jackson trying to hit somebody in the flat. I don't know who Derek Stingley was really looking for there on that tackle, but he ends up missing it. Very crucial missed tackle there. Ends up being 14-7. Westbrook breaking tackles, though, ends up getting a touchdown of his own. So far, Little has played very good besides the interception. Maybe he's kind of a little bit looser now after that interception. You know, the oh my goodness, Becker getting PI'd, and he still went upstairs and went and caught that, which is insane. I don't know why they had to run it in there. I don't. Maybe they accepted the PI instead of the touchdown. I'm not sure. They ended up kicking a field goal, though, before the end of the half, and they end up getting the stop. So now it's 41-21, and he gets intercepted for the second time. Kiki Little, not really seeing that safety come down. Maybe looked like a rookie type of throw, trying to get JD Kimball involved, and he takes the top off as well. And that is going to be all they wrote for that game, 38-35, which ended up being a little bit closer towards the end. I think the defense kind of let off the gas, and definitely got to watch out for that. Could be concerning in the future. But a huge pouring rain game against the Bears for the Packers here, and a huge throw from Caleb Williams, getting that first down, getting down to the 15-yard line on 3rd and 2. I don't know why Caleb Williams decided to run the ball himself. He thought it was Lamar. After that nice throw, I don't know, he was feeling himself there. But nice run gets him down to the 50-yard line on 4th and 10. They end up getting stopped, so the Bears have the ball back. And Caleb Williams decides to go on 3rd and 5 and hit a nice flat route to his tight end. And Caleb Williams takes the ball, and you know what? Maybe he is Lamar Jackson, because he takes off, ends up getting a nice gain and a touchdown on this Packers defense. But a blown coverage from the Bears ended up going 7-7 now. Huge lucky break for this offense. It looked like they were kind of stale, but they ended up getting a nice break there, and a nice throw and good ball awareness from Christian Watson. I don't know what the flag is. Maybe it might be PI, but nonetheless. Oh no, I guess it was some type of holding, because that play is negated. Doesn't matter though. They end up driving anyway. Ball don't lie, and now it's 12-24, where the Bears have been very aggressive on offense, and the defense couldn't really hold them, which I'm very surprised about, because the Packers defense is very good. But this is going to be a huge win if they can pull it off by Jalil Varga. I mean, it's 24-19, but they're in, and they do, so they end up going up on the Bears 25-24. Huge win, honestly, to make them go 3-0 to start for the Packers here. So I know it's going to be a shorter one. The next one's going to definitely include a lot more of the weeks, but I just wanted to be more consensus on the, the trades or the drafting, and I just wanted to see like the start of the week, the start of the seasons for all the teams, and really talk about the rookies, so that later on I can talk more about the teams and how they're performing and their expectations and goals and things like that. But if you made this far, please consider subscribing and liking. Definitely helps me out. But besides that, stay tuned for the next video. Is going to include a lot more games and footage and things like that. But I appreciate you watching, and have a good day.